Good morning, all my lovely people. Today we are at Fun Bike Center Motorsports, and today kind of got a Triumph ride going on, so this is already going to be a long video, so enough yapping, let's get right to it. Alright, first bike of the demo ride, Triumph Trident. Yeah. Initial ergonomics of Trident, it feels pretty good. It's a little tight in the seat. The feet position, a little like rear, more mid than rear, but it's a little pushback. It's not too bad. Not like the Royal Enfield Continental GT. I'd probably say more. This kind of feels like a Ninja 400 if it didn't have a fairing. That's what it's reminding me a lot of right now. Just a little taller than a Ninja 400. Feels pretty good. I'm 5'11", so I'd say if you're a little shorter than me, this bike would probably feel a little tall for you, but other than that, like I can 95% flat foot it. It's a little tall. Ooh. Oh my god, this thing has some pep! Oh my god! This thing has some pep! Wow, boy. Wow. For a little 660, this thing can definitely get up and go. The shifter's a little you know, funny, but by funny I mean it's like kind of mushy in a way, you know. It's like mushy almost, like it's just not a very positive feeling, you know. This thing just does not want to find a gear. Oh my god. It's a little too fast. You could start on it. You definitely could start on this bike. It's just, it has some speed to it, man. Yeah, you can definitely get yourself in trouble in this thing. This bike's just really throwing me for a loop. I was not expecting it to be just this fast. It's so like raw. It's so lively. It has personality. I love that. As I was saying though, yeah, there's a lot of people here that are way above my skill level. Just throwing that out there. I know it. I know it. I respect them. I'm not trying to prove myself. Not that I'm riding above my comfort level. We are going a little fast, but man, this thing can rip. That's all I can say. Oh fuck. Oh. Future Kaz here. So after reviewing the footage, after just watching these videos over and over again, one, I did run out of skill right there, but the bike also was giving me a lot of issues between it just not wanting to go into gears, running wide for seemingly just no reason. You can throw your tinfoil hat on and say whatever you want to say, but if you want to pick apart the video really hard, I did turn my head in the turn. I didn't fixate on the grass. The bike just did not want to go. But whatever. I'm just throwing it out there. The bike was giving me a fair bit of issues during the test ride, so yeah. A little too wide for me. Hey, I know where we are. Real OGs of the channel, if you remember the Indian Scout test ride, where the footage got absolutely ruined by a bug on the GoPro. Oh, I did my Indian Scout test ride from Lakeland Harley here. So now the adrenaline's down a little. If you ever find yourself in a situation like I just found myself in, pulling the clutch, don't panic. Just coast it out, get back on the road. Simple as that. Beautiful. Wow, I mean, everyone else probably wants to take this turn way faster, but, you know, because of me, we can't. Got some speed to it, that's for sure. It's a very fun bike. It's a very fun, lively bike. Just the... Yeah, I understand being scared. Like in that moment, was I scared? Not really. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. I wasn't scared. I just ran out of skill, you know. I see. Good morning, Ryder. Sounds like a real Jarvis kind of. Okay. Got a pretty good feel to it. Alright, so. Ergonomics of the Scrambler 1200. A little taller, seats a little broader. Definitely not going to be a friendly bike if you're short. That's definite. Everything's feeling a lot more crisp on this bike compared to the Trident, though. Like, the shifter's very direct, versus whereas the Trident shifter's kind of mushy, you know? Am I going in there? Are you going in there? Okay. Yeah. Trident, my complaint with the Trident, the shifter felt kind of mushy, you know? A lot of times, I don't know, when you're at a stop, it was hard to go into gear. It could just be the bike's cold. It could just be a factory thing. So that's my only complaint with the Trident. It was just a very solid middleweight bike. A little fast for a beginner. So just have a good head on your shoulders if you're thinking about the 660. Now the Scrambler 1200, ergonomics wise, not a beginner unless you're really tall. If you're really tall, then you could be comfortable in this, but I'm 5'11". If you're shorter than 5'11", I wouldn't do this. It's a very nice feeling bike. Like, the quality is very high in terms of like materials, what you're touching, what you're sitting on. It's definitely a very high quality machine. The Trident wasn't bad either. I don't know, the Scrambler, like I was saying, the Trident has personality. The Scrambler definitely has more personality to it. It's a more polished bike. Again, not that the Trident was bad. It was not bad. My only complaint with the Trident was the shifter. Everything else, though, solid. This, so far, so good. Definitely liking this more than the Trident. Naturally, I just gravitate more towards ADV bikes. Not that this is an ADV bike, but I think it falls into that category more. I mean, Scrambler. It's literally in the name, Scrambler. But it just feels good. This is a very solid feeling bike. And honestly, power delivery, I mean, granted, if I could be in the correct gear, power delivery feels a lot more linear than the Trident. The Trident was very herky-jerky on its power, which it was cool. It was cool, but for the bike I feel like that it is, I feel like the power delivery, I mean, there could have been modes to it as well. I don't know. I'm not busy playing with the modes. I'm focusing on the actual, test ride. I could have been in like a sport mode or something. There might be an eco mode or rain mode. I'm not entirely sure. This is simply just me. Oh, hey, look, Triumph is doing a demo ride. Temo ride? Triumph is doing a demo ride. You know, let me see what that's all about. So, I'm sorry if this isn't as technical as you'd like it to be. I'm sorry if you want me to be talking about specs right now and, oh, I can feel all 60-something horses on this bad boy. I don't know. I'm just on the bike. I'm seeing how I feel on the bike. And I feel good on the Scrambler, definitely. Very neutral seating position. I'm a little lean forward, comparatively speaking. So it's definitely not like a cruiser. Definitely not like a cruiser seating position. It's more standard. I'd say definitely more standard than the Trident. My feet are a little more forward than on the Trident. I just feel a little more upright. And, you know, the bike's taller. So, this feels just more, I would say down to earth, but we're also stuck behind vehicles, so, you know, that could be part of the issue. Okay, they're all turning, so the pace is about to pick up, definitely. If I go off-road again, I feel like this bike can handle it a little better than the Trident. It was that one. Yep, right there. It was that one right there. Okay, let's not go off. Hey, I did it this time. Hey! Yes! The heat's doing good though. Like, my thigh is physically touching the pipe, and it's not burning. That's my biggest concern with Scramblers, you know, because the way the exhaust is, you're always scared because, you know, it's right there, you know, you're scared, but I feel the heat, but it's not like absolutely destroying me, you know. It's not bad. Good on you, Triumph. Okay. Okay, it has some pickup. I mean, it's a 1200. Of course it has pickup. It just feels a little more manageable than the Trident. The Trident, man, that thing is a piss missile, dude. This thing, I'm probably not pushing it as hard as I was pushing the Trident, but it just feels manageable, you know? I had a little bit of a wobble there. It could just be the tires. These are, I think they're knobbies. It would help if I paid attention. ADV bikes do what cruisers do, arguably better. That's why Harley made the Pan Am. It's because all of the longtime customers, after they couldn't pick up the 800-pound motorcycle anymore, they went to BMW. They went to, you know, other brands that are arguably better than Harley, you know. Sorry to put myself in that crowd, but I love Harley. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I've owned 3 Harleys. But the company really doesn't do its job that well. I mean, what they do, you could argue, they do it really well. But it's just, you know, Harley got so stuck up in the, cruisers, you know. This is all we do, you know, America. But, has a pretty nice little sound to it. I didn't even hear that the last time. Has a nice little grumble. You know, that sounded pretty good. If you got a better exhaust, it would probably sound amazing. Like a not a factory exhaust. It would probably sound amazing, you know. But yeah, Harley's just been so behind because that. I can sit here and give you a history lesson on Harley digging its own hole in the 80s with Ronald Reagan, but that's another video for another time, man. We're out here enjoying Triumphs. All I'm saying is, this is great. This is great. Sorry, I can't think of a better word. It is just solid, great bike. One thing I will point out, the turn signal, I keep aiming for this little, like, check lever thing instead of the turn signal. That's, I don't know, I wouldn't call that a complaint. It would just be more so, you know, getting to know the bike. Okay, don't go in the grass. It would just be, you know, a great all-around bike. You could commute on this, no problem. It's very comfortable. The seat is a lot more comfortable than I was expecting it. It's very firm. When you first sit on it, you're like, ooh, wow, you know, I couldn't do this. But it's really comfortable, actually. Like, I feel fine. The ergonomics are great. I'm not too perched. I'm not too laid back. It's just a great neutral kind of position. Very composed, very nice. The Trident 660 felt really rowdy for what it was. It was like, it wanted you to push it faster. It was like, yes, we can do it. We can do it. I believe in you. You know, push me as hard as you can through the turn and go into the grass, you know. This is more composed. This is more like, you know, hey, we're out here having a good time, man. You know, take it easy, go rough, whatever you want to do. I'm here for it, man. All right, drop a gear, hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Oh my God, I crushed that apex. I mean, yeah, you know, you can stand up on this. It feels great, you know. You need to take a quick stretch, just stand up. That's all I can really say, just solid. Very cool. This is a very good bike. If you're definitely in the looks department and you've been thinking about a Scrambler, man, these things are great. You know, I thought they were all looks, you know, because you look at it, you're like, there's no way that thing's comfortable. There's no way, you know. You just look at it and you're like, you know, that's a pretty bike, but there's no way I could do it. Dude, this is so comfortable. Legitimately. Genuinely good bike, though, man. This thing is great. Man. I know they're a little pricey though for, you know, for what they are. I know they are just a touch pricey. Try not to get too close to this bike here. Very good. Very good. Big, comfortable. Well, let me see how the height goes. Height? It's a little tall. Yep, definitely a little tall. I'm on my tippy toes at 5'11", so not friendly on the weight side, not friendly on the height side. It's a big bike. Thank you. In terms of approachability, I wouldn't call this necessarily an approachable bike. It's comfortable. It's really comfortable. Suspension feels really good. Okay, am I in first or am I in neutral? Is there not an indicator? There we go. Okay, haven't even started moving yet, but man, I love this thing. It's so just, you know, there's something about adventure bikes, man. They're just so nice, you know? It's hard to explain, hard to describe. It's just, man. A lot of buttons I'm not going to be pressing because I don't know what they do. You got heated seat, you got fog lights, you got memory something? Some kind of something, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. Again, I'm sorry if you want like an actual in-depth review. You're not getting it with this video. These are literally just me riding these bikes. As someone who doesn't really care about the specs, someone who doesn't... I'm not looking at something, you know, what's the most bang for the buck? What's, you know... It's literally, I'm gonna get on a bike, I'm gonna see how I feel about it. Oh yeah. I mean, my leg's cramping a little. My leg's cramping a little bit. It's, I'd say it's comparable to the KLR, you know? So where I was saying the Scrambler is very composed, it's very, like, you know, it's just well-mannered. This, it takes that tradition, but, like, you know the power's there. You know this thing's ready to go. That's what I'm feeling with it. It's like, I'm having a hard time categorizing this. Like, the only adventure bike of this nature I've been on is the Pan Am, which, it compares a lot to the Pan Am, but in terms of, like, how can I describe it? Like, much like the Pan Am, I can't really describe it. It's a 1200cc adventure bike. There's a way to describe it, I don't have the experience. Sorry, there's a bug on my visor. I don't have the experience to really classify it just yet, you know? Oh, yeah. That thing. Oh, yeah. Effortless. Very composed. It feels just a little more rowdy. Just a little more rowdy than the Scrambler 1200, you know? Yeah, this thing just feels great, man. Just feels absolutely fantastic. Very well composed. Man, I like this thing so much. And it's strictly opinion, because, you know, not everyone likes big adventure bikes. Not everyone likes these big, heavy motorcycles, you know? Some people like sport bikes. Some people like Harleys. You know, that's the beauty about motorcycles. You know, there's a little bit of something for everyone, you know? That was funny. This thing loves the downshift, man. It's great. Literally, downshifts, no fuss. Literally, it's like, all right, we're doing this. We're downshifting. Clunk, 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 clunk. Oh, yeah. I like this thing. This thing's great. Under certain conditions, it is just a little shaky, but man, this thing, oh man. I really like the Scrambler, but I also really like the Tiger. I like the Tiger more than the Scrambler, just because I'm more partial to ADVs. I like ADVs more, you know? Oh yeah, stand up over the hump. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice bike. Very premium feeling bike. So was the Scrambler, but it's just me, man. I prefer this more than the Scrambler. Scrambler's great, but I just really prefer this. It's just my personal, like, what do I like in a bike? I like this. The price is a little hard to swallow on this, because obviously, you know, this is a very expensive bike, but man, it's so worth it, dude. This thing's awesome. And, you know, make all the comments you want about, oh, just get a car, you know, if you want all this bullshit on your bike, get a car. Man, just shut up. Sit on the bike yourself and ride it, and then tell me that same comment, you know? Same thing with the Road Glide. Everyone, oh, if you wanted to ride behind a dash, get a car. Ride the damn bike. Feel it yourself, man. Like, it's one thing when you're watching online, you know, and you're not, you know, because you're not experiencing it. You're just seeing it online. You're like, oh, I don't like that. Go experience it, man. You will change your mind very fast. That's all I can say. It's really hard to mess up a bike. It's really hard to complain about a bike. I'm not saying every bike's perfect. There's bound to be a bad bike, but it's so good. So good. I love this thing. Let's see if they want a broken Road Glide on trade-in for this. I can't do my payments right now. My payments would be brutal on this. But when I'm more, you know, in my years and wiser, you know, and actually have more disposable money, definitely, this is in the future. Or maybe a GS. I still have yet to ride a GS, so I don't know how it compares. But dude, this thing, I'm sold, man. Much like how I was sold on Royal Enfield, I'm sold on Triumph, dude. Very good quality bikes, very solid bikes. Literally, man. Off. This is phantasmical. Oh yeah, this thing's massive. Thing absolutely massive, yeah. Man.
And the GoPro kind of died literally right there. So that was the test ride. It was a 2-day test ride. I wanted to come back and test ride 3 more Triumphs at least, but I haven't been feeling that good all of October. So I decided that that was only going to be the 1 day. I only did those 3 bikes. So on to the list. So I'm not going to go over the entire list again. Here's just a quick, screenshot of it. I'm going to add the bikes in as we go. Trident 660, it's going to fall pretty low on the list because I'm perfect and it was all the bike's fault. Yeah, I ran out of skill on it, but that thing, for what it is, I felt it was just way too rowdy. It might have been something with the bike itself because it kept giving me issues the entire test ride, so it's just going to go farther down on the list. Now, the Scrambler 1200, that's going to be quite high on the list. Not as high as the Pan America and the Ninja. I'm going to put it in front of the Versys 650. I don't know, the Scrambler 1200 has really good quality to it. I really liked that bike. And the Tiger 1200, it's going to go in first place. I loved that bike. The Pan America is really good for what it is. Harley really knocked it out of the park for their first true adventure bike attempt, but the Tiger's just better. It's better than the Pan America, and that's my favorite bike right now. And that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for spending time with me and watching me have fun on these motorcycles. I wish I could have fun on my own motorcycle, but it ain't going so good. Watch out for birds, and I might just start a GoFundMe to get a Tiger 1200, because I really want a Tiger 1200.